Hey, we're Sleeplust.
We're hanging out on Front Row Live with Rob.
Just listened to you guys for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Thanks, man.
Definitely love the tracks.
Thank you.
Sleeplust. We're missing a member, though.
We are one down. We're one short today. That's right. Our drummer, Sarah. Yeah. Hey, Sarah.
How's it going, guys? You guys recently dropped a new single, Sedona. This is second release off of upcoming EP that you guys are working on.
Correct.
Tell me about the transition of, where you guys are at today on this upcoming EP compared to the previous EP that you guys had released last year.
Sure. Who wants to go
Yeah,
first?
who wants
Go.
to eat?
You're being so shy.
I know, right?
I'm not shy.
He's absolutely not shy.
I'm really not. Yeah, exactly. I'll take the question. Honestly, the first EP was called Missing Pieces. And it was...
We're missing pieces today, by the way.
We're actually currently still missing pieces. We haven't solved that puzzle yet from the first EP. But it was called Missing Pieces. And, I feel like we basically met Amber and we just started writing songs because that's what bands do, And so that EP, I feel like, was a process of, learning one another, not only in the studio setting, but also in a live setting. And, that was coming up on 2 years ago. So now we're in a much different place as, not only as people, but as a band. We've played a ton of shows. The record's done fairly well. We've gotten exposure. We kind of know better as well, who we are as a band, our kind of where we want to be with the band. So this EP's, I think, is going to be much more focused and probably a better representation of what the band is becoming, Right.
Mm-hmm. Now, prior to you joining the band, you were doing a lot of covers online. How did those covers, learning the covers and kind of making them your own, help you in creating music today? How did that kind of influence you?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I just graduated college and I kind of had all this free time. So I started making covers. I was to keep myself busy. You really learn a lot about song structure and how to write a song, and where the artist or the writer's head was at when they were writing it. And kind of like you said, making it your own, just having a guitar or just a ukulele kind of just narrows it down to what you can do with that song. So yeah.
Now, when you come in to work on music for Sleeplust, what is the kind of process that you guys work with? Do you guys start out on a piano? Do you guys start on a guitar? Do you guys start out with lyrics first? How does that really, how does a song get created for you guys?
We honestly always usually start with piano or acoustic guitar. I feel like if a song can be great on that, then it'll be great no matter what. If you can just strip it down to the bare bones, to melody and acoustic and piano, then it's gonna be awesome no matter what you do to it, And then from there, we kind of flesh out, the concept, the lyrics, you know what I mean? Amber's obviously, more of her wheelhouse there, but and then after that's all done, Mike and I will go back and produce it out and really start building it out, you know what I mean? Sometimes we bring in some of our friends to produce, sometimes we do it ourselves, just depends, you know what I mean? Okay. But yeah, it always starts with the bare bones, piano and acoustic, yeah.
Now, when you guys are in a really great spot right now where you guys are living because you have the studio right across the street, and you have the studio right here as well. But tell me about going into Hertz Studio to record. The first time I went in, I don't get starstruck, but the first time I walked into that studio, I was like, "Holy shit!" The Black album was done here, and I was nervous. That's never happened before. But tell me about going into such a world-known studio and getting to create your music.
I own a studio inside of that complex. I built it in there, and I definitely take it for granted, like most people do when they open up their doors every day. Right. Because whenever people come in, they're like, this is fucking legendary, this place. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I got to take the trash out, so actually don't come in yet. But honestly, I think there's a vibe there in the walls. That's actually that's why I chose to build my studio inside of there, was because it's I was doing records out of there just because I liked it. Right. And then I was like, I just want to stay here. I don't want to leave. I really feel like there's something there. You've been there, so it's all wood. It looks exactly like you walked into 1979 and you're recording metal music. Exactly. It literally is the same exact thing. So to me,
there's a stage in the back too. I'm just shit.
Dude, it's so weird. It's weird in the best way possible. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think personally for me, it's a huge part of being, I think, music is created depending on your environment. So I feel like that's big to be able to be there and be in that environment all the time. Right. And I mean, as much as I love demoing at our houses, it was a whole nother vibe when we go into my studio and actually like work. You know, like there's a much different vibe there. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's actually, to answer your question, you know, a big part of that. You know, yeah, I would say.
Now tell me about the music that you guys are creating, because obviously you guys are creating your own sound. What made it about this sound that you guys were like, this is the sound that Sleeplust is gonna make? Like, this is what Sleeplust is gonna sound like.
I think it kind of comes from all of our influences, right? When you say
I
like,
think it's like a mixture of everything that we're all into.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like I'm super into hip hop, and then but I also love like Butch Walker and like Bleachers and Jack Antonoff, you know what I mean? And then Mike comes from more like rock and roll world, and then like Amber loves like a lot of deep electronic stuff. So it's kind of like. And I think that goes back to the first question Mike was saying, you know, kind of figuring out like some of these things, you know, that's why this EP's kind of come together like that. You know?
That's why I feel like this EP is coming together. There was a song in our last record called Floodgates, which was the lead off track on that EP, that I feel like started the process of where we're picking up, which was the last one we wrote for the record, but I think is picking up where we're, you know, now with this EP. But yeah, I just think as we've learned our tastes more, you know, like this EP has like, I just love like 2000s pop punk and emo rock. Like, I just love it. Like that's like my shit, you know. I love, you know, I just do. I can't help it. And Joey like will always be sending me like hip hop tracks. I'm like, this is cool, man. Like I don't listen to this stuff, but like maybe I should. This is dope. You know what I mean? And then you always have like really great like singer songwriter stuff too, like stuff that I just want. You know, so that's what I'm saying is like, you know, we've learned to infuse all of those things in this EP. I think that's something I'm really excited about. Like every track has a different equation that we've kind of put forth on the songs to kind of introduce all of our tastes, you know.
And then Sarah gets influenced by LP from Yellow. Oh wait, she's not here. Shit.
Actually, Sarah and I have a lot of the same tastes. So like, cause she loves like a lot of that rock stuff that I love too.
Right.
So like, her and I always like in practice will always be jamming around like power chords and like straight blast beat stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm 18 again. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what I mean. Just listening to that music, it makes you feel that way.
Oh yeah, totally, dude. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So talk to me more about this upcoming EP. This is a sophomore EP for you guys. You know, where are you guys at with the EP today? Are you guys still kind of writing the EP? Are you guys already in the production phase? Like, what's going on?
It's pretty much finished. We just have to do vocals on a couple of tracks, and we'll have like 7 or 8 songs. Seven? Okay, yeah,
And
7 songs.
mix it. I have to mix half of it. Half of it's mixed.
Yeah.
Half of it's not. Okay. And then we're gonna do some bonus like acoustic versions of like that we're just gonna track down. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much barring vocals on like 3 songs. It's pretty much done at this point. Yeah.
Now I noticed when you guys one of the pictures you guys posted on Instagram, Krewella commented on that. Is there some kind of relationship with Krewella? That's another like amazing act.
For sure. I met Jahan and Yasmin a long time ago when I still lived in like the Chicagoland area. We met through a mutual friend that I had at college, and that was right when Krewella was getting started and started blowing up. So yeah, we've kept in touch over the years, Jahan and I mostly.
That's awesome.
And she lives here now, so you
Yeah,
guys
she
like
lives
you
here
guys
now,
do
so
get
yeah.
to shows.
She comes to shows,
She
like,
come to our
hangs
shows
out.
and stuff. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Maybe we can get some kind of collaboration. That would be a sick collaboration.
Yeah. I've actually, you know what? I've never met her. I've only seen her in the audience.
She's such a sweetheart.
But I know that she's, I've heard such great things about her through you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what's next for you guys for 2018? Aside from the EP, any more shows coming up? Maybe like some kind of tours?
We're working out right now, June.
You're working out?
I'm working out. It's the first day of spring, as I said, so I don't know when this airs, but it's time for me to start working out. And then we're working June dates out right now as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just after that, just putting out another single, the EP. You know, we were lucky enough to sign a publishing deal with Ingram Music, so they've been really helpful. So we've been trying to just grow the team from there, like trying to find a manager and a label, hopefully this year. You know what I mean? Just to kind of keep the steps going. You know. Right. So yeah, that's the plan.
Awesome. So for those that haven't heard of Sleeplust yet, I feel like that's such a tongue twister.
A lot of syllables there.
There
Yeah.
is a lot of syllables. For those that haven't heard of your music yet, like what are you guys all about? What would you guys like tell the audience that, you know, new listeners?
Nickelback.
I had no idea.
I thought listen to our music, man. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, you guys.
I mean, I would say just passionate people making music for the masses. You know what I mean? For a large group of people. You know what I mean? Right. I always say it's kind of like electronic inspired indie rock. You know, I feel like that's maybe a good way of
What's the
describing
quote
it.
we have by Jack Kerouac? One day I'll find the words and it'll be simple.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that sums up the band because we're trying to deliver a message in a way that's consumable by the most people at one time.
Right.
You know, so.
Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I look forward to catching you guys live. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, great. Come out.
So we'll figure out one of those dates. And next time we got to get the whole band.
Yes.
But we'll also need a bigger couch. So
It actually worked out. We really couldn't hold any more people. It's fine.
exactly.
Actually, it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, she lost out. We could have talked. We could have talked about Yellow Card. We could have talked about LP. We could have talked about back in the days when she was touring with other artists.
That's right.
You know, shit
She
happens.
just would have had to be in the kitchen standing there.
You're missing out, Sarah.
Right there.